What is up, guys? It's Ryan here, DP Marketing.Services, author on the book on digital marketing for plumbing and HVAC contractors. Also the host of Blue Collar CEO, which I hope you're tuning in wherever you get your podcast because it's a fun show and glad putting out. Hey, hope you're doing good. Today's video is going to be a little bit nerdy, a little bit technical in the world of SEO. So, as I was recently challenged by someone who is both a friend and a competitor, because if you follow me on Facebook or anything, you see that like I'll throw these kind of screenshots of like keyword trends and rankings like from a tool and throw them on Facebook and be like, hey, it's so cool to see this growth. And this particular person said, hey, it'd be really nice if you also showed like a little bit more in depth, not just like the trends, but also like the keywords associated with it. Totally a fair point. Makes a lot of sense, but because it gets technical, I thought, you know what, a little screenshot and long post probably doesn't make a lot of sense. So here I am in lovely face video format. So gonna use a tool. We use a tool a lot called Ahrefs. Sometimes it's called Ahrefs. Generally speaking, it's considered to be, in the world of SEO, one of the most reliable tools. Now, it is not Google, right? However, it is considered to be the next most active indexer and spider next to Google themselves. So basically, as far as like things crawling the internet, you have Google, and then the next best option would be Ahrefs or Ahrefs, depending how you count it. So it's a really powerful, really respected tool. It's not one of those that you can like find for free somewhere. It's a significant investment for us, which is why we use it. Everyone on our SEO team is certified on it, but also everyone on our accounts team is certified on it. So we put a lot of stock in making sure that everyone on our team who has anything to do with SEO or talking with people like our clients, that they know how to use this tool at a very high level. So I'm going to share my screen here and kind of walk you through what some of this means. So I'm pulling up a client website. This is a really easy one for us to point to because we had an old domain. We relaunched the website on a new domain. And so you can kind of see like before and after, right? And generally speaking, let's kind of walk through this. In the way that Ahrefs or Ahrefs works, this particular thing is called an overview. Now, there's two versions of overviews. This is the old overview. There's an overview 2.0 that's coming out, which I don't like as well. It gives more data, but I think it tells the story in kind of a more messy way. But I feel like this is a little bit cleaner. And so you can kind of see here, this is the amount of keywords and the amount of organic traffic and the amount of the traffic value. So real quick, let's put this into perspective. This is an algorithmic formula saying this is how much Ahrefs thinks per month is this particular domain is getting in organic traffic. This is probably not going to be the same as what Google Analytics say. So my recommendation is, just like any sort of tool with SEO, one tool by itself is incomplete. You want to compile this with like Google Search Console data, with Google Analytics data, and they're going to get a more holistic snapshot. But from one dashboard, this is kind of a really good starting point. So organic traffic, this is an algorithmic projection, right? It's not tracking anything on your website directly, but you can kind of see like this general climb. So you can see this website, this new website was launched in June of 21, right? You can see the date before and after, and then you can kind of see the general increase in traffic. So that's fantastic. Same thing here. So this would be the organic keywords. So the way this works, if it's the light orange, it's going to be positions 11 through 100. So page through to page 2 to page 10 on Google. Anything in the darker orange is going to be the top page 1 of Google, either positions 1 through 3 or positions 4 through 10. You can unselect them and kind of see that. So this particular client has, you know, on just the page 1s, right? We're talking just the page 1s. They have 183 page 1 keywords, which is fantastic. But if we go to all keywords, you can see that they have just under or just over 3,800 keywords in total. So you can kind of see the trends. And generally speaking, we like it to go up and to the right. Traffic value is interesting. Traffic value basically connotes how much you'd have to pay AdWords for the equivalent amount of organic traffic. Okay, so again, algorithmic projection, but the idea is you would have to spend $3,300 in AdWords just to get this amount of traffic coming to the website. So all projections, but this is kind of, when you talk about like, when we say keyword rankings, this is how we're doing it. Now, the question that was posed to me, which started this video, was we don't know at a glance, are are these keywords good keywords or are they bad keywords? Like, yeah, at a glance, it's like, oh, it's so cool to know that these keywords are getting more and better and it's getting up and to the right, which means you're getting more keywords indexed. But we don't know, are these for Happy Meals? Are these for tires? Is this was the website hacked in these like pharmaceutical sort of keywords? We don't know at this glance. All we know is that there's more keywords getting indexed. It's good that it's going up and to the right, but there's not enough here to tell us, is that a good thing or a bad thing? So for that, we're going to go into a deeper view. So Ahrefs does a couple things, but this is a really powerful component here, is this organic keywords, which I'm going to log back in again. And so here, you can kind of go in here, and this will do like year-over-year comparisons. So you can see here, I'm going to compare, I'm going to go back to past year. So this is the date I'm recording this video right now. This is the date from a year ago. And we can see this is the list of all the keywords that's being pulled back, right? And you can go through and see if it's tracked, it's there. And the way this works, this is the particular keyword term. This has to do with the monthly search volume that is projected in Ahrefs. This is the keyword difficulty. This is how difficult it is to rank for this particular term. This is how much traffic is estimated going to this particular phrase. This is the position, and this is the URL. This change would come into impact if there was any sort of like before and after. So this particular thing, ideal air conditioner, has a 16 position change in a 12-month period, right? So you can kind of see all this, and then you can see all these other things like this high velocity grill. Look, I'm not an HVAC guy, so I'm not exactly sure what this means. But this particular phrase is a new keyword that did not rank a year ago, but now ranks #1. Aluminum high velocity. So I'm guessing if you are an HVAC person and you know what this stuff means, fantastic. It doesn't mean anything to me. But you can kind of go through and see what's happening here. So we can do this a couple different ways. We can search by like actually what is the keyword, and we could sort it by like alphabetic order. And you could tell there's like 4,000 keywords. So to scroll through this giant long list to see what's good or what's bad is really hard. We can do like position, like what's our highest position stuff first or our lowest position stuff first. And we can say, hey, is there anything we want? So like all these terms here are all like page ones, right? All page ones, all page ones, all page ones. We can do by change to go like, hey, we want to see the ones that had the most change over the past year, either good change or bad change. And the trick with SEO, if you remember, like check this out, there's almost a 60 position jump, almost a 64 position jump, heating, cooling, Phoenix. But these are really significant changes in a year. The way that this works is as Google is starting to figure out your website and understand how it fits in the World Wide Web, what tends to happen is Google tends to give you credit for a lot of things. You're not ranking page 1 for these, right? It's just going, are you answering this customer's questions looking for Heat Connect AZ? I don't know. I don't know what this is, but that's what the term is. And so Google will like make the site visible for Heat Connect AZ. And it'll kind of see, is it helpful for people? Does it answer people's questions? Do people find this particular page helpful? And you can see here, this is the particular page. Remember, websites don't rank. I've talked about this in other videos. Websites themselves don't rank. Pages on websites rank. So this is the page that's ranking for Heat Connect AZ. So the question that Google's asking now is like, hey, we did have you on position 84. Nobody's going to 84. But now you're position 17. That's a 67 position bump. When people are looking for Heat Connect AZ, is this the page that's most helpful? And so sometimes it's really common for Google to like give you a benefit, see what happens. And sometimes it comes down and sometimes it goes up even higher based on how helpful it is. An example I kind of use a lot is like farming. If you farm, I don't farm, but I've used this analogy in other videos where you sometimes like have to like prep the soil, till the soil, plant the soil, and then you start watering the soil and just taking care of the plants before they sprout. And as the plants start sprouting, sometimes you have to go in and pick out the weeds. Sometimes you have to go through and pick out like insects because the fruit isn't ready, right? The stuff you're going for hasn't been completed yet. It's in process. But all these things might come up in the middle. So it's 100% possible you could rank for things that are not really helpful. They're not a transactional search, meaning it's not likely to result in a customer calling you and becoming a customer. However, it doesn't mean that it's worthless, right? It's part of Google's just process to understand who you are and what you should rank for. And over time, Google will kind of get a good grasp. But if you're just starting off with SEO, if you've been doing it for 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, I mean, honestly, it's not quite long enough for Google to have a really solid grasp on what you're trying to do. So like this position, HVAC service Phoenix, Awesome. There's a 58 position bump in a year. And this is a really, I mean, Phoenix is a really competitive market for HVAC. So you're like, well, why isn't it page one? Well, look, it's going there. And the more signals that people keep giving this, reviews, press releases, social signals, this will continue to climb in all likelihood. But you can see like the position of change in all these, but it's also possible that we lose things. So if I scroll down, what if I go to, yeah, so you can see all these numbers are getting smaller. There's a smaller percentage of change within a year. But this is a way for us to know, are these terms good or are these terms bad? Generally speaking, we want to see two types of searches. Search number one is what we're going to call an informational search. An informational search is something that's helpful for a customer, but they're just getting an answer to a question. They're not likely going to call you to become a lead. So here's an example. Best AC air filters for allergies. It is 100% possible that this person might become a customer, but it's also extremely likely this person's just doing research. They're doing research, they're trying to understand something, and they might go on Amazon and buy their own filters. Cool, no big deal. It doesn't mean that this post is worthless, right? This has SEO value, helps Google understand what they do, helps all those things. But this person visiting this is likely not going to become a customer, and that's totally fine. Now, if we use this guy, best HVAC companies in Phoenix, okay, these are probably going to be customers doing this particular search because now these are people who are looking with the intent to make a purchase decision. So we'd call these a transactional search. So we'd call these like an informational search. We call these a transactional search. There's a third type called the directional search, which we don't see a whole lot in the trades. Directional search is literally, you know, where the directions to this company. It's fairly rare that somebody's looking for directions to drive to you. But for the most part, we want to make sure that they're either an informational query or a transactional query. Both are acceptable. Both are fine. Transactional query is going to be the one that you're going to make your money on. Informational query is going to be the one that kind of build your reputation and your expertise. So it's helpful, just not a paying customer. There's going to be other things that probably get in the mix that aren't super as helpful. Sometimes they're noisy. Sometimes they're just messy. Like this guy, I'm guessing this is a parts number. That's not super helpful. I'm guessing the only people searching for this are technicians. I can't imagine many homeowners searching for a part number. This guy, I saw garage repair, I think. Did I miss it? Oh, AC for garage. Okay. So yeah, the idea is as people search, as people learn, as Google continues to learn, we want to continue to start growing on the things that are helpful. But this is it. So yeah, with this tool, we can not only see what people are searching for and what Google's ranking them for, and we can even compare it like over periods of time. So I could technically go back over 2 years, but as you saw previously, there's no 2-year look back on this particular because of the change of domain. But we can go back at any point in time and see how the changes happen. Remember, SEO it takes time for Google to do its movement, right? So this movement here for these train rebates, that's an 83 position change. Fantastic, looks great. But one, this is for 2016, so nobody cares. And two, we're still on the bottom, like top of page 2. So it's not super brag-worthy. This isn't a customer likely. But yeah, this is kind of an older post. Doesn't mean that it's worthless. It's just not the ones that you're going to be making your money on. So Scottsdale AC, that's going to be one that you're probably going to make some money on. Garage AC installation, you're going to make some money on. Air conditioning Surprise, Arizona, you're going to make some money on that. Like all these, you're totally going to make money on. And that's, yeah, so this is kind of how we would look at it. We'd go into like, are the keywords in general going up? Are they going down? Like, where are they? If they're going up, are they going up for the things we want to rank for? Because again, all these page ones, it's kind of what we want, right? We want to see page 1. So like this right here means that in a year, we've lost 1 position for train heat pump rebate in a year. So it's like, okay, is that something we want to look into? Do we want to compete well with that? Are we okay letting it slip a little? That becomes the conversations that we have to have with their team, with their clients, all that. But yeah, I hope this is helpful. Ahrefs is a really, really powerful tool. There's a reason that the experts use it, and there's a reason that we use it a lot here. And this is just scratching the surface. It is really, really in depth, and we can kind of go back here and see like over the past year. Come on, there we go. And kind of see the changes over time within just the past year. So in this particular case, we have 1,600 to 3,800. So we're over 100% improvement, like double the organic keywords that we had year over year. As far as organic traffic, we're not quite double. We're close, not quite. So everything's still going up right now. We are, it looks like over 14. Yeah, we're well over double on the traffic value. So we're getting more efficient on what. All right, so I don't know why I got kicked off on that, but the recording started over, so here we go. But basically just talking about how in Ahrefs, it's a really powerful tool. There's a reason we invest in it, because it shows us how these positions change over time. And it's one of these things that lets us, okay, stop. What's happening here? Why is everything in my computer dying all of a sudden? But it's one of those tools that we want to keep handy, use it a lot. We can learn a lot about how Google's moving things or not moving things, and we can respond from there. So this might not have been the sexiest of videos, obviously, because I had to stop and restart in the middle. And it's also kind of technical, but hopefully it kind of pulls back the curtain a bit and kind of see how this tool just works in a snapshot, because it's a very in-depth tool and we can go a whole lot into it. But I'll stop the boring of you. And if you have any questions, drop them below, because I'd love to hear from you. As always, guys, follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube. Stay safe, all right?